Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. How is everybody doing today? My name is Josh Levitin. I'm part of the C2 instructor team, and I welcome everybody today to our exclusive Closing Bell webinar. Today's guest is Adrienne Toghraie from Trader Success Coach. I know Adrienne has a wonderful workshop and presentation lined up for everybody today. Right now, Adrienne is a Trader Success Coach who is an internationally recognized authority in the field of human development for the financial community. You know, her 13 books on psychology of trading, including The Winning Edge, Series 1 through 4, and Trader's Secrets, have been highly praised by financial magazines. You know, her latest book, published by Wiley, Trading on Target, is available on Amazon.com right now. She does public seminars, private coaching, and both of those have achieved a wide level of recognition and popularity, as well as her television appearances and keynote addresses at major industry conferences. Now, Adrienne, like I said, has a wonderful workshop lined up for everybody today. Today, in this training, you're going to discover the mental and disciplinary skills or levels every trader must overcome to go from a beginner to a master trader. Essentially, your trading can be drastically improved by addressing challenges that you don't even realize you're holding back. Adrienne, are you there?
Yes, Josh, I'm here. Can everyone hear me? Give me a yay if you can. Okay, I see lots of yeses. Wonderful. Well, thank you, Josh. Thank you, Fausto, and all of the team at Cybertrading. I really appreciate the invite to your room. Today we're going to be focusing on the psychological part of trading. I've been working with traders, brokers, investors, and other high achievers for the last 25 years. And what I found to be true is that no matter what level you're on, there's always another level that you can stretch to. So if you're making $50,000 a year in trading, why aren't you making 100? If you're making 100, why aren't you making a million? There's always another level. I have an evaluation that traders do, and I have found that even those people who are in the multi-million-dollar category in trading, there are a lot of psychological issues that they're working through, and when they let go of those psychological issues, it brings them to the next level of success. Now, I have many models. I use neuro-linguistic programming, timeline therapy, hypnotherapy, gestalt therapy, a whole bunch of modalities that I have learned over the years. And I take models of success, of how to achieve each next level of success. And this is one of the models that I will present. And one of the things that I have found over the years is that very often when you have an issue or a problem, you need to go back to basics. So we're going to start from the basics, and then we're going to blossom out until the advanced trader. In my years as a trader's coach, I've seen and identified the path of the evolution of a trader from novice to mastery. I've created this model by putting traders into categories. This doesn't mean, however, that a trader has to experience every one of these categories in order to be a profitable trader. If a trader knows and chooses to make the right choices from the start, he can be like the few traders I have known that have made money from the start. But it's been my experience that most traders won't. So I've put together these 5 categories of traders in order for you to identify where you are and what you have to do to get to your next level of success. Now I'm going to go through this particular webinar, and then I'm going to open it up for questions. And I want you to think of some of the issues that you might be dealing with in trading, and we'll discuss that at the end. So the first category that I put people into is what I call the intuition trader. I'm sure most of you are not in this category, but you've experienced it. The intuition trader is the individual who comes into trading but doesn't treat it like a business. Perhaps he has read 1 or 2 books on the subject, such as Trading for Dummies, and maybe his education makes him think he can be a top trader because he's intellectually advanced. But the fact is that trading is a separate business from other businesses. So rather than doing the hard work required to get up to speed in this new field, he's intuiting that he won't succeed. The second type of intuition trader is the mechanical trader who refuses to give up the fact that the system that he took over 2 years to put together doesn't work in the current market conditions. The third type is the floor trader, who assumes that he has the ability to do electronic trading without adjusting to the skills of computer trading. The fourth type is the trader who has been a buy 'em and hold 'em person of the past and thinks that the same rules apply in the current markets. Now, while there are traders who do earn profits as investment traders, the rules of the past don't always apply. In order to be successful, the intuition trader has to get into another category, because if he stays in this category, he'll either lose money or he'll find that trading is not a viable way for him to earn a living. So, why are these intuition trading stuck in this category? They don't know anybody because they've isolated themselves. Certainly that would not be true for the people in this room, because you happen to have found one of the best teachers in the business. They're too stubborn to make changes in their system or themselves because it costs time, money, and they might have to face their demons. Now, you can be in this category, because even if you're working with the best trader in the world, if you don't follow the rules that they set forth, of course it's not going to work for you. Oh, I'm sorry. You know what? I just realized that my assistant put these particular slides on, and I didn't even realize. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I'm up to here. Oops. She just recently did this, so I have to look to see what she's done. There are several different intelligence types. There's intellectual book learning types, and while the people that are intellectual, they don't necessarily make the best traders in the world because they feel that they already have succeeded in life, so they don't have to study. There's the mechanical Mr. Fix-It. The problem with the mechanical Mr. Fix-It type of trader is they are the kind of people that always want to fix it and always want to fix it and always want to make changes. There's the emotional type of trader. They are the kind of ability that they are constantly emotionally involved in their trading. And when you're emotionally involved in your trading, you're more likely to make mistakes. They're the creative type of people. The creative, let me see, Stefan says, cannot hear anything. All volumes are at max. Any ideas? Everyone else said they could hear me. If there's anyone else with a problem like that, Stefan, you might go out and come back in again. That's all I could say. Can everyone else hear me? Okay, good. Sorry, Stefan. There's the creative person, and the idea person is the kind of person that can go on to be an exceptional trader if he doesn't get into his own way of his creativeness needing to always be demonstrated over and over in his trading. There's the street smarts, learn from the ground up. A lot of people fail their way to success, and it's really smarter to get someone that really knows what they're doing. But if you're the street smarts type of person, very often they are the kind of people that will succeed in this business. And then there's the wisdom intuitive to a higher level type of person. This kind of person is very good once they have their strategy, and then they add to that strategy. Okay, now I'm caught up with where I thought I was going to be in this particular webinar. The intuition, why are they stuck in this category? They don't know anybody any better. They've isolated themselves, as I said before. They're too stubborn to make changes in their system or in themselves because it costs time, money, and they might have to face their demons. They think they're entitled. The entitlement comes because they've educated themselves in other fields and they've worked very hard in other fields, and they feel that they don't have to work hard in trading. Or they don't have the resources. Now, I'm going to be talking about resources a lot. So let me tell you what I mean. First of all, the intelligence. You have to have emotional intelligence. You have to have mechanical intelligence. You have to have wisdom. But you don't necessarily need the kind of education that it takes to be very skilled in another profession, although that trains your brain. You have to have money. I like to call money inventory for your business, because when you think of it as money, then you think of it as your children's education, your retirement fund, your the money that you have for vacation, and then you get emotionally involved when you lose that money. You should have a separate money for your trading account. You have to have an education, and the kind of education I mean is you have to know the markets, and you have to specialize in a particular type of market and time frame. You have to have the time. Initially, you put a lot of time into trading, and eventually, full-time trading is full-time money, not full-time hours. And many of my traders trade only a couple of hours a day, and yet they make the equivalent of what you would make in a full-time job. You have to have the support. And what I mean by support is people in your life, if they're not supporting you, it's going to be a hard road up the ladder of success. And number 5, they let others influence them in the wrong direction. There are many people who teach strategies, who teach systems, and they're good for certain people, but they're not necessarily good for you. You have to find the right fit. And these are the resources that I was talking about. Intelligence, education, money and inventory, business plan, strategy, time and organization, discipline, and psychology. And the psychology and discipline that you have to have is you have to have the ability to believe in your rules and to follow those rules. Because if you don't believe in your rules and you don't follow those rules, you're going to be in trouble. And the environmental support that I talked about. There are different types of coaches. There are trading coaches, which is what Fausto and Josh and people at cybertrading do. And there are trader coaches, and these are the type of people who train you to be better traders by using your psychology, improving your psychology to get to each next level of success. And there are different levels of coaching. There's coaching at the superficial level, which I'm doing right now, just giving you good advice. Then there's the subconscious, then the superconscious, and then the spiritual self. And all of these types are deeper and deeper, and sometimes you need those deeper resources to make it work. So what do you have to do to get out of this category? Decide if trading is really for you. I mean, do you have the passion? Do you wake up in the morning or whenever you start to trade and you just can't wait to get to the computer? I remember this one trader who made multi-millions. He said to me that if he had just enough to live, because he says he really doesn't need that much, but he said, I just love this profession. You have to love it. You have to be committed to go through some hard times, because there are bumps along the road that you have to overcome. Gather the resources that I talked about before, the intelligence, the money, the education, the time, and support. And develop and follow a plan. You're in the business of trading. Therefore, you need a business plan. And what a business plan is in trading is anything you would put in a normal business plan, plus your criteria for entering and exiting a trade, uh, plus your money management. Let me see. What else did people write to me? Okay. I found that stories motivate traders to realize that no matter what their situation, where there is passion, there is a way. The story I'm about to tell you is a true story about a truck driver named Carl who dropped out of school in the 7th grade because he didn't have a choice. His father died and his mother couldn't hold a job because she was dying of cancer. Carl had to support his mother and his younger sister. He first ran a tractor and did odd and end jobs on a farm. When he was old enough, he took to the roads as a truck driver. As a truck driver, he had a lot of time to listen to talk show radio. One day there was a motivational speaker who asked, "How do you define yourself?" He answered out loud to himself, "I'm a high school dropout who'll never be more than a truck driver." The announcer gave him just enough time to answer before he asked, "What would you like that answer to be?" Carl thought for a quick second and said, "I'd like to be smart, wealthy, and handsome." Then he was asked, "What can you do to start right now to make what you want happen?" Carl started using the time in his truck to study for his high school equivalent and continued to listen to how-to books for the next several years. One evening at a hotel stop, he heard an infomercial asking, "Do you want to be rich beyond your dreams?" And he continued to give advice about how to become a trader. Carl immediately said yes, bought the course, and scheduled himself to trade a few hours a day from his laptop. He hit a wall of doubting himself, his ability, and whether he was stretching too far when he lost over $50,000, and that was the money that he got from the farm. Fortunately, Carl decided to go to a trading conference and choose the right person to mentor him to become a trader. He had many pitfalls along the way. I met Carl at a conference he attended in Las Vegas, and now Carl is a successful trader. It takes passion that motivates you to do the hard things to be a trader. If you have it, then you can overcome being the into-wishing trader. The next trader Wendy put up slides that are the slides that I did when I was at the New York Mercantile Exchange, and they have a lot more information on it, so that's good. What do you have to do to get out of this category? Let go of once being great. There are many times that you will be successful in many parts of your life. And what will happen is you feel that you are on top, so you don't really have to do the work that's necessary. You have to think of yourself as a beginner with an open mind when you first get into trading. Okay, the next trader is what I call the gimme trader. These are traders who want the answers from others. Maybe they get answers from chat rooms, or they align themselves with another trader who gives them direction, or they buy a system or methodology and don't test it, but ultimately they're not responsible for their own decisions, but base them on the advice of others. Now, it's a really good idea, excuse me, to be a gimme trader, because you want the advice from people that have been there and know how to get there. But what you have to do is take that advice and filter it through your own mind and come out with your own answers. A long time ago, I used to listen to this psychologist in California, and because I knew the direction I wanted to take, whenever she'd give an answer, or before she'd give an answer to the people on the radio, I would lower the sound and then give the answer so that I was well rehearsed in my mind of how to give those type of answers. You should know the answer before the people in the room give it to you. The second set of traders in this category gives their money to others, such as brokers or money managers, who can make money for them. However, most traders brokers are not traders. So you have to do due diligence before hiring a broker and research the brokerage firm's compliance record as well as the compliance record of the individual broker. You want to know where your hard-earned money is going. I do recommend that you have two accounts, however, one where you're paying the lowest commissions and the other where you have the advantages of a full-service broker. Many brokers have access to information that will make it worthwhile for you to maintain full brokerage services. And with some brokerage firms, you can have access to both services. There are two types of money managers. Unregulated money managers are traders who can only trade a certain amount of money and usually only for their friends and family. These money managers present you with big risk because you can't check their background. Just because they have a lot of money doesn't mean that they can make you money. They might be enjoying a luxurious lifestyle simply because others gave them money to manage and not because they have the ability to make money for their clients. On the other hand, it's easy to check the track record of regulated money managers because they are required by the SEC and other regulatory agencies to present you with their track record. Well, of course, there's Madoff's case. What he was doing was creating false statements. The problem with giving your money to a money manager is that some of the best regulated money managers will require $250,000 from individual clients. Now, most of us don't have that kind of money to give just one money manager $250,000. I'd say that the best money managers return between 8 to 10%. If they are making more than that, then they are taking tremendous risk. They're not as risk adverse. So why are people stuck? Okay. Again, she added another slide that I wasn't aware of. I'm using the wrong set of notes. Okay, the gimme traders get their information from teachers, mentors, chat rooms, meetup groups, conferences, other traders, institutions, and brokers. And as I said before, it is really a good idea for you to use the people that know what they're doing. You're certainly in really good hands with the cyber trading group because they can get you there faster. And you can buy a strategy. Okay. And these are the places that people give money to: brokers, money managers, financial advisors. It's amazing how many financial advisors are saying these days that I've only lost 2% or 3% of your money. It's way below what the market is, but they're not making you any money. Institutions. Okay. Why are they stuck in this category? Now we're with the notes that I have. They don't have the confidence. They don't have the confidence either in themselves or in their strategy. They want others to take responsibility. Responsibility means to take action. So they want other people to make the decisions for them without making the decisions for themselves. They don't have the time, energy, or will. You have to have energy time to be a good trader. You know, there's so many people that will work a full-time job, you know, have a family, come home, and then try to trade. What you're doing is you're training yourself that the time that you trade is your tired time, and that's usually a very bad idea because your tired time is not your focus time. They're afraid to leave the security of their paycheck. You know, if you've been brought up with parents that bring home a paycheck and they have a budget with that paycheck, it's very hard to think entrepreneurial. And you have to think like an entrepreneur in order to be successful at trading. In other words, you have to realize that some months you're not going to bring home money. Some months you're going to lose money. But in the overall picture of things, you're going to make money. So why do they get, what to do to get out of this category? Build your self-worth, your self-confidence, your self-values. Whenever you do whatever it takes to feel better about yourself, you are going to create the kind of person that is necessary to be tops in this field. And one of the things that you should start to do is start to recognize how you think about yourself and other people. Because whatever you put out there, or whatever that comes in your mind, body, and spirit is going to reflect how you do in your trading. Build your resources. We talked about that before. Okay, the third category, and I would say that probably most of you are in this category, and it's not a bad category to be in. This is the struggling trader. This category includes a wide range of traders, because a trader in this category can make no money, or he can make millions of dollars. What's true for all of these traders is they are inconsistent. That inconsistency can be on a daily basis, a quarterly basis, a yearly basis. The fact is that they are not consistently bringing in the return that their system or methodology will allow. Traders in this category are missing part of the equation that makes them traders who are able to receive the total benefits from their system. Now, there's a wide range within the three types of struggling traders. The first can range from someone who is not making money, to someone who is breaking even, to someone who is making and losing money. These traders haven't necessarily received the type of education necessary to feel confident about their ability or their methodology. These are traders who perhaps didn't put together a business plan that includes their system or methodology and contingencies of everything that can go wrong or right with the best possible outcome to keep them in the game and make them accountable to themselves. Or they haven't kept a daily journal to identify where their inconsistencies are in following their rules, or they haven't done periodic reviews to improve on their system. When I talk about periodic reviews, I'm talking about every 3-4 months. These traders are just beginning to realize that discipline is the key to making profits, but at this point they're not willing to invest in more than a book about discipline issues. Or they haven't back or forward tested their system so they can feel confident that their system has the probability of being successful. Until they have taken all of these steps necessary to get to the next category, they will remain inconsistent. Just about 20 years ago, that's when I met Fausto, there was very little education available for a trader, so a trader either learned to fail his way to success, or he sought out the few traders who were willing to mentor them. In this day and age, there are almost too many so-called trading schools that are willing to teach what they believe to be what you need to be successful. It's important that you do due diligence. Fortunately, you happen to be with a very good team. The second type of struggling trader is someone who has given themselves a good education and has a business plan, but only brings in enough money to supplement his income, or is always struggling to feel confident that he will last another day in trading. These traders haven't taken the time to handle their psychological issues that keep them from being top trader, and sometimes they don't see the need for it or make fun of it. The third type of struggling trader is someone who is making a comfortable living or even a great deal of money from trading, but knows that if he was more consistent, he would be earning a lot more. Perhaps he has even looked into the psychology of trading and taken a seminar, or has done private work and has improved his results, but knows that he still has more to work on to be successful his system will allow. The story I'm about to tell you is a true story about a fellow that I worked with a long time ago. He actually took my top performance seminar when I did it for the institution he was working for. They were gas traders, and the group improved about 15% as a result of taking that seminar. Well, he came over to me and he said, "I want to trade like the big boys do." And I said, "Well, how much money did you earn last year for the company?" He said, 10 million. And he said, "But," he says, this is tuppence in comparison to what I know I could make. But I don't want you to tell anybody that we're working together. I'm going to pay you privately, which is unusual for institutional traders because they usually want their companies to pay for them. And we worked together, and the next year he was brought in about 32 million. And he comes back to me and says to me, you know, I'm still leaving so much money on the table. And you wouldn't think that someone like him would be in the struggling category, but I put him in there because, again, he wasn't consistent with what he could make. And I really didn't know what I was going to work with him on, but it's like, psychology is like an onion. You peel one skin away and you get another skin. Well, we worked together again, this time only for one day, and the next year he was in the 50 millions. Same thing happened the next year, the next year, the next year. And then last year he wrote to me and he said, 118 million, still leaving money on the table. So the struggling trader can be in various levels of success. So these are the type of struggling traders. Break-even, business plan, journal, comfortable living, doesn't go to the next step, exceptional, still leaving money on the table, or he doesn't feel he's deserving enough to get to each level of success. There are many people out there that are just as afraid of success as they are of failure. And they might be in a category of making $100,000 a year, but they don't feel they deserve to go to $200,000 a year. So there's always something between them and that next level. So why are they stuck in this category? They're not consistent. Now, inconsistency can be on a daily basis, on a quarterly basis, on a yearly basis. Another story, I was one of the few people that had a contract with the New York Mercantile Exchange, and there was this one trader who took my seminar, and he said every August, September, he loses a lot of money, and it was every year. And when I got to know him, I found out that he took his wife's kind of vacation. I mean, she liked to go on a cruise ship, she liked to go to Europe, she liked to go to Las Vegas, whereas his type of vacation was canoeing and hiking and fishing. And I told him he had to take his own vacation because that was the only way that his mind would allow him to make the money that he should. And I said, well, of course you have to take your wife's vacation too, or else you can have other problems. Okay, number 2, need to overcome self-sabotage. And there are many types of self-sabotage. There's most of them have to do with fear. Fear of success, fear of failure, fear of being wrong. Even greed has an element of fear in it. Or limiting beliefs. A belief is what's true for you. And if you don't believe you deserve to succeed, if you don't believe that you can be more successful than you are, well, you're going to fulfill that belief. Conflict. Part of you says go, part of you says no, and you fight yourself. So what do you have to do to get out of this category? Build your technical skills. Raise your ability for taking risk. I worked with this one floor trader a long time ago, and he said, I have no problem with taking 50 contracts, but he says, I'm petrified of 100 contracts. And I said, well, did you ever hear of 51? The fact is that you have to ease into your next level of risk-taking. And what I always recommend people is sim trade on higher risk until you feel confident that the better trades you could take more risk on. Build your inventory. That's the money that we talked about. You have to have money to make money. Get the environmental support you need. If you're having problems at home with your wife wanting to take you to Gamblers Anonymous, you have to prove to your wife or your husband that you have something that's viable. Build self-values. We talked about that before. Self-esteem, self-confidence. Release repressed emotion. If you make money, make money, make money, lose it. Make money, make money, make money, lose it. You're probably dealing with repressed emotions. Repressed emotions are emotions that you have built up from losses in your life. And what happens is that when you have losses in trading, all of those emotions will come out. And then overcome self-sabotage. The next category is what I call the average good trader. This is a trader who is consistent about making money and who follows his rules. This type of trader also has a wide range of return depending upon how much trading capital he has to work with, what level of return his particular system will yield, how much he's willing to risk, and if he's willing to do whatever is necessary to develop his psychology for it to bring out the best in him. While traders might not have an issue of being consistent, they still might have an issue that stands between them and their next level of success. The average good trader will have a solid, successful, and long-term career as a trader, and all beginning traders would be fortunate to reach this level of trading. When I was working with floor traders in Chicago, very often I would have dinner with a bunch of them, and I'd listen to them. And what I found very interesting compared to some of the other traders, the traders that worked on their own, is they would talk about, oh, I'm going to make about 250 this year. Or somebody else would say, I'm making 300. And they actually knew over a period of time the range that they would make that year. That's what you have to do to be an average good trader. Know what you're going to make by the end of the year. So how did they reach this level of success? They have completed everything a trader needs to do in gathering the resources and having a solid support system. They have not found the need or desire to be as compulsive. So what does a trader need to do to become a master trader, which is the next category? Have enough resources to support that next level. Be willing to stretch out of your comfort zone. Be more focused and perhaps compulsive. Have the will, the psychology, and the know-how to add what I call an intuitive filter. So now we get to master trader. He's a trader who has done everything necessary to be a top trader and then goes one step beyond mechanical indicators by adding a filter of intuition. I was listening to Josh before talk about another fellow that you work with cyber trading, and he says, oh, that was probably intuitive. And I'm sure the people at cyber trading have their ability for intuitive trading. There are many excellent trading systems out there, Gann, Elliott Wave, Ross Hook, just to name a few, and there are many traders who teach these type of systems, but unfortunately, there are also many traders who discovered that these systems don't work for them. Traders who teach these systems don't teach the intuitive part because most people have to learn that on their own. And while many of you have had the experience of knowing where a trade will go, you know, that knowingness that's beyond your mechanical indicators, most people can't quantify that filter or identify it as something they can rely on. An intuitive trader can. These intuitive master traders know how to work with their right and left brain synergistically to balance their logical and creative side. Reliable intuitive trading is something that I've taught many of my clients with great success. It's not something that traders should do on their own without handling their psychological issues first. However, many traders attempt to do this and find that it's disastrous for their bank account. But those traders who do take the steps necessary to fully train themselves as traders and handle all of their psychological issues can become intuitive master traders. At this point, they're ready to reap the top rewards of their profession. So how do they reach this level? They have a consistently profitable strategy or method. These are the technical parts that you have to have. They follow their business plan rules and improve with periodic reviews. And periodic reviews, as I said, 3-4 months, not every day, not every week, not every month. They have overcome their psychological issues and continue to work on them. Because when you get to a certain level of trading, the only thing left is not your strategy. The only thing left is you. And their goals have a clear vision. And not money goals. Their goals have to do with following their rules and knowing that they can be successful. They have developed a reliable, intuitive indicator. As I said before, this is an added filter. So what do you have to do to maintain this level of confidence? Maintain your physical, emotional, and mental health. And before I go on, whenever there are changes in your life, even if they're good changes, they're going to affect you. Like you move to a new place, you get married, you have children. Whenever you have any change in your life, know that there's going to be emotions that are involved that will affect your trading. Maintain psychological balance. Stretch to the optimal level of risk for your particular strategy. Because there is an optimal level to a strategy that is mechanical. Anything beyond that is intuition. Monitor and improve your intuitive skills by coaching at all levels. So the levels of coaching that I was talking about. The conscious level is reading books, taking webinars, getting good advice. There's the subconscious. That is the work that maybe you're not aware of the issues, but you know that there's a problem. There's a problem because you can't follow your rules. There's the energetic level. Sometimes what happens is people, they work so many jobs and they put so much energy into other things other than trading that their energy is off balance and they have to regain that energy, and you have to do energy work for that. Spiritual is the connection with your higher self. I'm not talking about religion. The superconscious self, that is the self that can develop yourself for the future. In other words, you're programming yourself to be the person that you want to be. Oops. Okay. Remember Carl the truck driver turned trader? I would say that he was one of my best clients because he came the longest way and made it very big on his own. Sometimes a person needs one boost, one motivational kick, someone who believes in them or all of the above. But first you need to allow yourself to hear the answers to what you're looking for. Then you need to take action, make a plan, and follow through on that plan. You need to allow for the bumps in the road, and you need to support your neurology along the way by taking care to improve your psychology. Carl the truck driver is now a multimillionaire as a result of trading and has earned a degree in finance. He's now going for his master's, and he's happily married man with 3 children. The only thing he didn't get from his initial wish is he still is not handsome, but I don't think Carl would believe that if you told him that. Well, I look forward to meeting you on your path to becoming master traders. Please go to my website, Trading on Target, for more information and the books and the tapes and the CDs that we have to offer. Not tapes anymore. Okay, this is the time where you could ask questions, and I'm going to give you a short commercial. This slide didn't come out too well. I have a home study course. It has about 18 products in it. It has 13 books that I have written. There is the evaluation and consultation with me on the phone. That is worth the price of the $650 that it costs on my website. However, the people in this room will get a significant discount, but I will tell you how you have to do that at the end. There are 5 packages or 5 parts to this course. The first part has the evaluation and consultation with me on the phone. This is normally $200. People in the room would get it for $250 if you let me know by Friday on this one. And the business plan package, it took me 12 years to put this business plan together. There's in it, what I did was I asked traders in seminars, what's your criteria for entering a trade, exiting a trade, what's your money management? And when there were no more answers, I knew I had a book. I have a master class. I don't have the next date. I just completed one, but it's always on Saturday morning. Excuse me, I need some water. It's 4 hours. It's normally $500. But early enrollment without a date is $300. So if you're interested, let me know. And my top performance seminar, again, I just completed one. And for those people who are long distance, I do it on Skype privately. And if you want more information about that, you can ask me. And this is how to get in touch with me. tradingontarget.com. My email address is adtoghraie@gmail.com. Okay, adtoghraie@gmail.com. Okay, now the special. The special will be for the course, the home study course. That will be good for the next 2 hours because I sell the course $650 every day, $650. If you want the special price, and it is very special, you have to write me an email to that email address below and give me your telephone number and the best time to reach you. I will call you. I will not give you any kind of a sales pitch. I will just give you a price and you say yes or no. Again, you write to me at adtoghraie@gmail.com and give me your phone number and the best time to reach you. I won't give you a price on email because I sell it all the time at that price. Okay, now, I'm open for questions. Let's see. I don't see any questions. So I have a fishbowl here. And I'll just pull one of the questions out of the fishbowl. What is the correlation between how you think in your personal life and how it affects your trading? Everything that you experience in life, all your memories, everything that you experience from moment to moment, is like your mind is like a computer, and as a result of that, you determine how successful you're going to be. You determine whether you believe in yourself. You determine whether you believe in your strategy. And it's important to realize how you think and how you've thought in the past, because that will be the indicator for how successful you can be in your trading. A long time ago, I met a woman who was, she was a housewife, and she says, well, I don't know if I could be a trader, but this sounds like a really good job. And I asked her if she could follow a recipe, and she said she was a very good cook. And I said, well, what I'd like you to do is follow a recipe, and your recipe is going to be your strategy. And she turned out to be a very successful trader. Okay, I think Dennis is writing me a question. Here we go. Do you trade with your strategies? I'm not a trader. I have traded. I was a trader. I used to trade currencies, and I was good at it, but it's not my passion. My working with traders is really a full-time job, and I really don't have the time to trade. Uh, but I understand probably most of the strategies, the good strategies that are out there, because I've got thousands of them in my filing cabinets. Uh, when I decided to trade, I took one of those strategies and I just followed it. The problem that I found is I'm a very creative person and I wanted to change the strategy. Um, so, uh, do I follow my strategies? I don't have any personal strategies. I've used the strategies of the people that I've worked with when I've traded. Dennis, so you think I'm sorry I must have missed what you think? Um, I I don't understand the question, Dennis. I can't even make a guess on what you're asking. So please write it again. What do you think when you're trading? Oh, what do you think when you're trading? Uh, you focus on uh, your you focus on your strategy. You have a checklist, and the checklist should be the your business plan narrowed down to the checkpoints of each particular, when you see an opportunity. What criteria do you use next? What criteria do you use next? What criteria do you use next? So what you're thinking about is you're focusing on what you have to see next in order for you to make a trade. That's what you focus on. You don't focus on what you're going to have for lunch or emails that you have to write. You focus on the opportunity and what comes next and what comes next until you take the trade. Okay, I don't see anybody else writing questions, so I'll pull something else out of my fishbowl. After I reach my daily goals, should I reset them or end early? If you decide that you're going to have daily goals, you have to follow those goals. And the goal is I quit at a certain time. You quit at a certain time. You never want to train yourself to go against your rules. Now, you might have a rule that says, if I make a certain amount of money, then I will trade another hour. But then it becomes part of your rules. Whatever your rules are set, that's what you want to follow, because that makes you consistent, it makes you disciplined, it makes you the kind of person that can make money in trading. Okay, don't see any questions, so I will ask something from my fishbowl. Why am I so afraid of losses, even small ones? This is probably one of the #1 questions that's ever asked. When you think about all the bad things that have happened to you in your life, they're associated with some kind of a loss. And what happens is we have a tendency of burying what we don't feel good about. So we put this in a place that I call the cesspool. That's areas in your neurological systems, in your cellular structure, that want to come out. There's part of us that want to heal on a physical, emotional, mental level. That's the way we're programmed as human beings. So what happens is you'll get one loss in trading, and that will lead to maybe another loss. And then you say, that's okay. But then the third loss, you're thinking, maybe I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe this is a bad day. Maybe, and then by the fourth, I don't know if the strategy is working. I don't know if I'm working. And then what happens is all of those other, it stimulates all of those other losses, all of those other emotions. And you don't know why you're upset about losing $250 when, by comparison to your what you have in your account. And then what happens later on is even one loss can make you feel that way, because you have anchored yourself to losses of the past. How do you overcome fear just before you put on a trade? Dennis, one of the ways of overcoming fear is through a mental rehearsal, seeing it over and over and over again, and training yourself to feel good about the trade before you get in. If you feel bad about a trade, it's because you trained yourself to feel bad just before entering a trade. You have programmed yourself to think this could possibly be a loss, and losses not are okay. I could possibly be wrong, and that's not okay. So you're constantly saying what's not okay, and then what happens? You get to the trade and you say, maybe I should wait a little longer. Maybe I should look back and confirm it. And you've got all this mental stuff going on, and then the fear comes along. So good conditioning is see a signal, recognize it's familiar, feel good about it, go make the trade. Bad conditioning is see a signal, recognize it's familiar, feel good about it, hear a voice. Are you sure you know what you're doing? Remember the last time you did that? And then you don't take the trade. This is the kind of conditioning that you have to change, and the best way to do it on your own is through mental rehearsal. Barry, a plan for not leaving so much money on the table. How to set a goal. Well, that's through money management, and there are various forms of money management. One of the things you could do, of course, I'm sure at cyber trading they teach you to scale out of a trade. There are different ways of money management that will keep you in check so that you don't leave that much money on the table. There's also a way of working with your trading so that you, as I said before, you sim trade on better trades to a point where you get the confidence to trade them for more money, or to trade them. That's another way of handling that. Which trading platform do you use, if I may ask? I don't use a trading platform right now. I haven't traded for a couple of years. Is this being recorded? I don't know. You'd have to ask them at cyber trading. It was supposed to be recorded. Gary, self-sabotage, best way to identify ways to move forward. The best way to identify self-sabotage is to recognize what you're doing. If you're in too late, out too early, not taking enough risk, losing money, of course, that will tell you that you have self-sabotage. The evaluation that I have it's 14 pages, no wrong or right answer. It's part of the course, and that will identify not only the self-sabotage, but how deep-seated it is. Debbie, I've noticed with two of my biggest gains, I find myself getting so shaken that I have to take a couple of days off from trading. I don't understand why I get shaken since I love to trade. I don't want to take days off from trading if I don't have to. Thanks, Adrienne. Okay. There is part of you, Debbie, I would probably say that there's part of you that is afraid of success. And what I would do is for you, I would dream about success and dream about being successful and being comfortable with that success. What does making a lot of money mean to you? And if you find yourself getting uncomfortable with those kind of dreams, then you're going to have to back off and then think smaller dreams until you can stretch to those bigger dreams. That's the only advice I can give you on a conscious level. Yes, this is being recorded. Thank you, Dennis. Can you send a recording to me? Yes. They will send it tomorrow. That's very helpful. Thank you. I never thought of being afraid of success. Okay. We only have 1 minute left, so just to let you know, On the home study course, you have 2 hours. If you're interested in it, I assure you, you're getting a very, very good deal. You just give me your phone number and the best time to reach you, and I will call you either this evening or tomorrow. You don't, even if I call you tomorrow, it's just within that 2 hour time frame that you just have to let me know as far as the course is concerned. And if you're interested in any of the other products, so we can send you a PayPal or you can purchase them online. But if you want that big discount, then and this course has the evaluation and consultation with me on the phone. That alone is worth the price that you would be getting it for. Okay. Okay, the way to get in touch with me is adtoghraie@gmail.com. I'll put it in again. And if you have any questions that you would like to ask privately, you could send me the questions and I will answer them. Thank you so much, Fausto and Josh and all the people at Cyber Trading for having me. And I hope to see you soon at one of the conferences. Bye, everyone.